Hi, Professor Keeley here. So let me explain to you why I think that Jimmy Kimmel is Darth Vader. But let me begin by reminding everybody what I've said before. I am an independent voter and independent thinker. I do not like either side, and that gives me perspective to be able to see both sides. Okay, so let's go back to Star Wars. So Star Wars was that Anakin Skywalker becomes a Jedi Knight, and that is of the sort of priestly class with a lot of power. And so part of the rules to that, and I'm writing about this in my dissertation actually, is that you have to not have emotions and attachment, because emotions and attachment can cause you to make decisions that put yourself in jeopardy or put others in jeopardy, because you're thinking with emotion, you're not thinking with the rational bit of your brain. With my psychology background, I'll explain that. You have the limbic system back here in your brain. It's the old mammalian system. That is called your unconscious mind. That is where your desire centers reside, along with fear. You have no control over this, except for the rational bit of your brain, the frontal executive lobe. And if you're not having that conversation in your head, then you are living purely on emotion. So Anakin gets fearful for Padme and decides to go to the dark side and just use it. Like he says, I'm so smart and I'm so powerful that I can use the evil dark side and it won't hurt me. And what happened? He gets sucked in, and now he's Darth Vader. Let's talk about Jimmy Kimmel. So Jimmy Kimmel, and I don't even know why people watch the late night comedy anymore, because I don't find it funny at all. I gave up decades ago watching late night comedy. Now, Johnny Carson was a master at being able to be slightly political, but in an undertone that it was never overt. Now you've got Jimmy Kimmel, who has built an entire career on political comedy that's not funny. It's only funny to the liberals who hate Trump because they're so overly emotional that they cannot control their emotions. And they have been led by a party that has, especially with Hillary, that came out and basically said it's okay to call people names. Think about it. In politics, there was really not much name calling. Some, but not a lot, until she gave permission when she said Trump is a sexist, racist, xenophobe, Islamophobe. We're just throwing every phobe at him. And then when she said that his followers are the deplorables, it gave permission to that side to become bigots and call people name. And why do I say bigots? Because that was the party of inclusion, love, understanding, peace. And what are they now? When George Floyd had that happen, they were burning down buildings, burning down cars, pulling people out of cars and beating the shit out of them. They were going into stores, cracking open the windows, stealing everything that's in the store. And what are the MAGAs, according to Jimmy Kimmel, doing? Prayer services, lining up and going around the country and doing, flags and putting out flowers like they did for Lady Diana, for Charlie Kirk. That's the side that you have an existential threat over? Really? So Jimmy deserves to lose his job because he didn't read the climate of the world right now. The world is flipping back more conservative, more rational, less emotional. And so he's still trying to use his platform as his own personal pulpit to try to convince people that MAGA is a threat. And what he said was a blatant lie. All the news reports come out and show that MAGA had nothing to do with him, that the shooter's parents were conservative, but that his lifestyle was more progressive. And when are we going to realize that's the progressive, insidious side that has gone to the dark side, just like Jimmy Kimmel? And one final note. As a leader of somebody who's responsible for the livelihood of about 200 people, both staff and crew, the fact that he couldn't, pardon my guttural French again, shut the he has now cost everybody their jobs. So I believe that he deserves everything he gets, because free speech comes with consequences. And these are the consequences of not reading the room and not really being funny. So I hope that people find jobs. I hope that Jimmy Kimmel has to sit it out for a long period of time and think and reflect on the errors of his ways, because his comments show a lack of humanity and profound tone deafness.